Hi guys, today is going to be a video all about ignoring the 3D, how to stay in the end result, that kind of end zone of having your wish fulfilled, having your desire, and yeah, living in your desired reality basically. And obviously it's done mentally before it's done physically, so I'm going to give you guys all my best tips, what I've learned from experience, mistakes I learned the hard way. So do thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoy this. If you'd like more manifestation videos, if there's a specific topic you'd like me to cover, please do comment below, because this is actually an issue I've had people comment on my past videos about, in terms of, you know, but he didn't text me, or oh, but this is the situation, and you know, how do I change it? Well, you're still living in the state of the problem, of what the issue is, rather than focusing your mind, saturating your mind with the end result. So if you would also like some one-on-one help, I have a Instagram page completely dedicated to little extra content, some short form content, and loads of information about what I'm doing in terms of coaching, the pricing, what I offer. So it's called LOA Coaching on Instagram. I'll actually try and start putting a link below my videos now, but check that out if you'd like one-on-one help. If there's any specific issues you have that you would like, you know, my advice on, then you can check that out, because I think I've priced it relatively reasonably. So yeah, just take a look if you're interested, and let's just get into it. So I have a long list on my phone of things that I want to talk about. And first point is, you want to figure out what medium you're using or what means you're using to see your desire. For example, if it's a new job, obviously that will be probably based in your workplace, somewhere like LinkedIn, anything to do with job hunting or being at your job. If you want a promotion, new job, whatever, then that is the location and the means you use to think about and see your desire, if that makes sense. For example, online or in person, such as social media, which is the case for most of us. When we're manifesting an SP or a person, it's usually online and on social media that we're engaging with their content or seeing anything about them, seeing mutual friends and things like that. So you want to first figure out where exactly you would be seeing, you know, just be aware of the medium and the means by which you have contact with your desire, if that makes sense. So then once you figure that out, like I said, social media, the workplace, even your own home, you know, whatever your manifestation is, now you're aware of, okay, this is the environment where I would be focusing on the 3D, where anything in the 3D is showing up, I'm reacting to it. And then you just want to kind of take some precautionary action, such as muting people, unfollowing people even. Obviously, I'm not saying unfollow your friends and family, but if there's like a acquaintance you don't speak to, but they're very negative and it's triggered you, or an old friend who knows your SP, who you know, you never speak to, you can consider even unfollowing. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what gives you the most kind of mental peace, then you're more than entitled to do so. So muting, or yeah, just unfollowing anything on social media that might trigger you. Now, in a real life situation, this is a little trickier. So it might be something like perhaps, you know, not engaging in negative talk during your work lunch break. You know, if your parents are arguing at home about money and you're manifesting money, just walk out the room and start affirming. You know, that's literally how you physically ignore it, by not engaging with anything negative to do with your desire. If a mutual friend starts telling you something negative about your SP, you mute it out, you zone out, okay? So that's why it's important to figure out where exactly your focus will be in the terms of the 3D, social media, in person, you know, in your own home. Now you've figured out where the source of any kind of triggering events might be, any kind of negative talk or any discouragement you might hear. You know, that's where to focus on. You're going to be a little bit more vigilant, especially with social media. That's a killer for any SP manifestations. You just want to be really aware that you're not engaging with anything negative, especially your own SP. Like if it's a person and you're not on good terms with them, I would recommend, for at least the beginning of your manifesting journey, to literally mute them. You don't have to unfollow them if you don't feel good about doing so, but you can. But at least like mute their stories, their posts, or mute them on Twitter or wherever your contact is, on WhatsApp. I would just recommend muting them, because you will get triggered, you will fall back into that old story, And if they are saying something negative or that you don't like, you just don't even want to see it. You don't want to see them posting with a third party on their stories. You know, it's better just to take that precautionary action and just mute. So next, you can, in terms of like becoming more resilient and actually being able to handle the 3D, ignoring it, but in the sense of being able to rise above it, not have that emotional mental reaction when you see something you don't like. And this is done by creating a stricter mental diet. You want to develop a strong mental diet, which takes time. It's a skill. It's something that takes practice. So don't be discouraged if the first day that you do it, you're very up and down. You don't feel good about it. It feels unnatural. That's totally normal. I had that experience too. It took me weeks to actually really get into it and see the change in my thoughts. So yeah, you just want to start a strict mental diet. I have videos talking all about this. I can go deeper into a video all about mental diet, but basically I just advise a strict mental diet. And then next point, I said to have a manifesting buddy, which I think is something that Sammy Ingram kind of developed more so. I've not seen it done by any other coach or in the community so much. But yeah, someone who you know that is into manifesting, that you know, you can rely on or that you could confide in regarding your manifestation. Just consider having someone like that. Again, you're not obligated to speak to anyone. You can keep it entirely to yourself. Other people have nothing to do with the way you manifest in your own power, but sometimes it can be good to stop yourself from spiraling and stop yourself from feeding into any negativity in the 3D too much. If you have that person to kind of fall back on a little, confide in, just bitch to when something goes wrong, you want to complain for a minute, that's fine. So I have a manifesting buddy and I highly recommend it. It's super helpful because they know exactly what you're talking about. If you're saying, I have to ignore my 3D reality, like other people in your life will be like, what is wrong with you? You're having a mental breakdown. But yeah, someone in the manifesting community will understand, okay, don't get triggered, do your rampage, do your affirmations. They'll just give you a little pep talk and keep you on track. So that's why I recommend doing that if you're able to and if you want to. Now, next point is another specific skill that you could hone is your self-concept and self-concept affirmations. So you want to do affirmations such as, I'm a master at manifesting. No one has free will in my reality. I'm the master of my reality. Yeah, things like that. Anything to do with your power and ability as a manifester, and just anything to do with law of assumption rules overall about how only you have free will, that you are in full control. Your thoughts create your reality and they can change instantly. The 3D is an illusion. Anything like that. You could turn into a little rampage for just 5 minutes if you saw something in the 3D and you want to ignore it. Obviously you don't want to take in that negative thing you just saw. Then you can just do a little rampage with those type of affirmations, or you can hone in specifically on your self-concept. Every day dedicate 15-20 minutes to your self-concept, but specifically only do those types of affirmations about your power. Now that will really help because it will remind you and remind your subconscious as well that actually that post I saw on Instagram, it's just a delay in the 3D. It's just the old 3D reality filtering out. It doesn't mean anything. My thoughts are already creating change and my affirmations are creating the positive change. You know, every second it's getting stronger, and by tomorrow morning, you know, my SP will have deleted that and posted something that I want him to post, or my boss is gonna come up to me tomorrow morning and praise me for my work. Whatever the case may be, just it will help to remind yourself of your power, put you in that powerful state. So highly, highly recommend that if you're not doing that yet. So leading off from the self-concept affirmations, just with all your affirmations, specifically the ones about your desire, where you feel like you need to ignore the 3D that relates to this desire, you want to be saturating your mind with as many affirmations as you possibly can. Not as many affirmations, but as much time spent affirming as you can. So whatever they are, like I got a promotion at work, I have my perfect body, my SP just texted me, whatever your affirmation is, you want to saturate your mind over and over, just loop and loop and loop, because repetition is key. I'm sure you guys have heard this everywhere, but really repetition is how your mind learns, how your subconscious mind changes over time. The more you affirm, the fewer negative thoughts you have, because your subconscious mind will start to accept it as truth, because you've repeated it thousands of times already this week, right? So your subconscious can't argue with that. There's no logic to it. If you tell it that you're skin has turned blue, eventually your skin will turn blue, right? You'll start to get blue tinges on your skin because your subconscious mind has no logic to it. There is no logic in manifestation. So just loop and saturate your mind, and eventually you'll just look at something in the 3D that you don't like and be like, whatever, that's not real. You'll just know to immediately affirm. Finally, just to round it all up, like I said, you can ignore people on social media. Now, I'm not encouraging you guys to be rude or cut yourself off from friends and family. I'm simply saying you can ignore a post or ignore a family conversation at the dinner table. You can tune out and just loop your affirmations in your mind. You can mute people, unfollow people. I've done that plenty of times, and it's helped so much because it's really stopped me from seeing, you know, the negative stuff in the 3D and helping me focus internally on my desire and the end result. But you should also, like I said, be rampaging in your mind. So if you see, in terms of ignoring the 3D, it could be where you're taking that preemptive action of, you know, muting and removing content off your social media so it just never shows up at all, but also seeing something and then immediately flipping it into your end result, into a positive affirmation. So this is where, you know, you can rampage in your mind. If you're out in public, you don't want to have to say out loud. So just rampage and loop in your mind on the spot immediately, or out loud, loop your affirmations immediately out loud, whatever the case may be. You can, you know, ignore the 3D by pretending like it never happened and then just immediately flipping to that end result, if that makes sense. But also, as I said, you can just take the preemptive action of removing it from your presence immediately. So yeah, I'd say that pretty much covers everything I wanted to advise you guys on. Hopefully this made sense. The way I said it made sense to me, so I'm not sure, you know, some of these points were maybe a bit too rambly. If you guys have any questions or on something that I said in this video, then please leave them below. Do thumbs up and subscribe, it would mean a lot. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!